Baisley with the rip. Dean Larry, you got to load that one up. Hey, hey.
Oh, got a little wink action there.
Hey, and set. The Warriors in the state final.
From Miami Township in Claremont County, ICRC-TV is pleased to present coverage of girls OHSAA varsity basketball. Today we have an exciting Eastern Cincinnati Conference matchup as the Anderson Redskins have made the trip up 275 to take on the homestanding Milford Eagles. Hello everyone, I'm Glenn Olson, joined courtside by my partner David Olson. David, two teams kind of chugging along here as we're in the last quarter of the season, trying to get back to that 500 mark and get ready for the upcoming tournament.
Yeah, Glenn, as you said, we're in the heart of the season. Milford had played Anderson just over a month ago on December 11th at Anderson. Anderson took that contest 45-38. I think we're in for a good contest. You know, there's a couple injuries that are bugging both teams, but I think both teams are settling in and they're making those final preparations on getting ready for the tournament, Glenn.
Yeah, a game, unfortunately, back in December that featured two players who won't be participating in this game. Of course, Paige Ayler out for the season with an injury, and she's had surgery since we've seen her last. She's now making her way around on the mobility scooter. And then Margot Thompson for Anderson has not played since right before Christmas as well. And those were two of the leading scorers in that last game. So take away two of the big impacts, big unknown today.
Yeah, Glenn, you know, we're coming in this game with, like you said, a lot of unknowns, but I think as we're reaching this heart of the season, you know, like we mentioned a couple days ago, we're 3 to 4 weeks away from the tournament draw, and we'll be getting ready for that. So I think both teams are just locking down and just wanting to play sound and fundamental basketball.
Just about set for the opening tip. Our officials today, Tim Egan, Stan Given, and Tom Clements. Gentlemen in the stripes that'll be keeping order out on the court. Official looks to both ends. His teammates are set. Ball is just about to go in the air. And there it is. We're underway on ICRC-TV Sports, girls varsity basketball. Milford controls the opening tip, and the pass goes out of bounds.
No, Glenn, that's going to be something we're going to have to watch. In the last game, Milford had 18 turnovers compared to Anderson's 5. We'll see if Milford can clean up the turnovers today and make some better passes and some better decisions with the ball.
Yeah, Milford had actually out-rebounded Anderson in that previous matchup, but lost the turnover battle by a significant margin. So we'll see what kind of strides they've made there. Milford working the ball around the perimeter, trying to penetrate through the Anderson Redskins defense. Good ball movement, passes by the Eagles so far. Morris will reset the offense up top for Milford. Nice dish after penetrating inside the arc, but it results in a turnover, and Anderson's able to hang on to it. They'll begin their first offensive possession of the game. A dish, three-pointer from the left side, nothing but net. Katie Doyle gets the first points of the game with a three from the left corner. Penetration in the lane, underhanded shot goes up for Olivia Theroff, is no good. Rebounded by the Redskins, moving the ball quickly down over to that left side again. And they'll reset the offense up top. Difficult to see the numerals on the Anderson jersey with just the orange outline and the black jersey underneath. We'll do our best to keep up with him here from our position courtside. Nice deflection in the lane by Milford, results in a turnover. Moving the ball down quickly, deep three-pointer off the back iron, no good. Rebounded underneath by Kaylee McKinney. She'll dish it out to Geis. Geis is going to take a trip in and dribble off the foot of one of the defenders.
Looks like we're going to get a traveling call, Glenn.
Another turnover for the Eagles. Milford just has not been able to get a good look at the basket yet, other than that three-point attempt, which was off the mark.
Yeah, and when we were here a couple weeks ago, we saw Kaylee McKinney really have a big presence in the post, and we've not seen that yet. She's not really established herself. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on.
See how that progresses as this game unfolds. Thought we might have a baseline drive, but they'll move the ball back up top to resets, being passed back and forth between Sweeney and Caldwell. Now that's Doyle with it on the right side. The defense comes out to match up with her. Elizabeth Holman will get it back up top. One of the leaders on this team, 4.2 assists per game, which is second in the ECC. A couple of steals per game also. Not a whole lot happening down in the post position for the Redskins. Three-pointer from the right side. High arcing shot, and that one will fall through. Katie Doyle has all 6 points, courtesy of three-pointers for the Redskins. 6-0 Anderson here in the first quarter at Milford High School. Pull-up jumper from 15 feet. Will not go. Milford wasn't able to get the rebound underneath. It was off the hands of Olivia Theroff. Anderson back down quickly, all alone under the basket. Good for 2 points for the Redskins. Kenzie Burdick, she's averaging just under 12 points a game coming into this contest. Turnover by Milford again. So the turnover problem rearing its head early.
Wow.
David, nice move underneath the basket. Milford's going to have to take a timeout and get some things in order. That was Elizabeth Holman with that last basket.
Glenn, that was a great play. She completely faked out Abby Theroff. Abby Theroff went right, she went left. And I think we're going to see our first substitution for the Eagles tonight. Number 33, Carly Dusing, was at the table before Coach Fallis decided to call that timeout.
Well, game's still manageable at 10-0 at this point. The turnovers are hurting Milford. Not able offensively to get clean looks at the basket. They're going to have to improve on their screens and so forth to try to free up an offensive player to get a better shot at the basket.
Yeah, I feel like they've taken some okay shots. They haven't really been great. I think they really need to settle, run their offense, and like the team we've seen play before, they can make shots. It's just taking great shots instead of okay shots. So we'll see what Coach Fallis did with that 30-second timeout and how he's going to change the offensive attack now.
First timeout comes at 4:37 remaining in the opening quarter here at Milford High School. 10-0. The Anderson Redskins are out in front of the Milford Eagles. Milford coming out of the timeout, trying some new things offensively. Faster ball movement, pull up from 15, and it falls through. Kaylee McKinney gets the Eagles' first points of the game. See if Milford elects to be a little more aggressive defensively now. Try to force Anderson inside and take away those perimeter shots, but there's a wide open one right there. It's off the side of the iron, no good. Ball will go out of bounds, but it's saved and recovered by Milford. Caitlin Geis comes up with the ball down on Milford's offensive end in transition. There's a kick back out. Morris for a deep three, in and out, won't go. Rebounded underneath by McKinney. Caitlin Geis from the left side off the mark, won't go. Rebounded by Anderson. Elizabeth Holman brings it down and sets up the Redskins defense. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Anderson with a significant 10-2 lead. And they'll slow the pace down, be a little more deliberate on offense this time around. Head fake on a three, and it's going to be a travel. Checking into the game for the Eagles, Olivia Theroff.
Coach Fallis very animated on the far side of the bench. Makes a substitution.
Carly Dusing will go to the bench for Milford. Devin Morris brings it across the timeline. Olivia Theroff tried to track that one down. It was off her fingers and out of bounds. Another Eagles turnover. Will be interesting to see the turnover stats when we get them from the Milford Sports Information Director, Sean Sell, at some point in the game, whether it's between quarters or halftime. Eagles going to have to clean that up. A little bit of a weave by Anderson. Tried to pass it across the lane. It's deflected away. Olivia Theroff comes up with it and a foul.
Looks like it's going to go on number 12, Ellie Caldwell, her first, team's first.
First foul of the game. Comes at the 2:50 mark of the first quarter. Theroff trying to pass it inside. Down into the lane to Sister Abby Theroff. The ball's deflected away. Congratulations to Abby, just committed this week to play volleyball at Ohio Wesleyan up in Delaware, Ohio. So congratulations to her. Beautiful campus up there.
Yeah, and I mean, she's one heck of an athlete, Glenn, and I think Ohio Wesleyan's getting a really good volleyball player in Abby Theroff.
Good student as well. So Milford offensively, relying more on gives than passes. There's a drive in off the side of the backboard. It won't go. Anderson down quickly. Pull up for three for Homan. It's off the mark. Caitlin Geis tracks it down for the Eagles. Devin Morris across. Kaylee McKinney. Cross court to Geis. Geis brings it back up top. Tries to get through the defense. Dishes it off. Three-pointer from the right side. Off the iron, won't go. Stick back up and a foul.
Looks like the foul's going to go on number 3, Elizabeth Homan.
That's her first. 2 second. At the line, shooting 2, number 21, Kaylee McKinney.
So Kaylee McKinney will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. First shot, nothing but net. Substitution, Madeline Hills checks in for the Eagles, taking the place of Olivia Theroff. Free throw number 2 on the way from Kaylee McKinney. Rolls out. Anderson tracks it down near the sideline. It's Elizabeth Holman. Track that ball down. Dish into the corner. Deep 3. Off the mark. Rebounded underneath by Theroff. Morris, long pass down to Geis, but it's deflected off of Holman, out of bounds.
No, we're really going to have to keep an eye on Madeline Hills, Glenn. She's a really big presence beyond the arc, so we'll see if Milford can take advantage of that in these next few possessions.
Katie Tatum checks into the game for Milford during that dead ball. Saw her have a real good game against Withrow a couple of weeks ago. We'll see what impact Katie Tatum has on the Eagles' offensive attack now. We're at 120 and counting in the first quarter, and a foul.
Looks like the foul's going to be on number 5, Sarah Sweeney.
Sarah Sweeney, that's her first. Team splitter. Milford will take a full timeout.
So Milford is going to take another timeout, David. Here at this 121 mark, Coach Vallis still struggling to find some offensive answers with his team here.
Yeah, you know, that's a full timeout too, Glenn, so he's got 3 remaining. He's got 2 fulls and a 30 left. And he's just very frustrated, as we can hear him from our broadcast position, just trying to get his ladies and get them clicking. And we're not seeing that a lot from the Eagles right now, but Anderson, everything's firing on all cylinders. They're shooting from behind the arc. They're making good shots. They're making really good passes, Glenn. So there's nothing that Coach Sheldon can really complain about right now.
Yeah, Anderson really content to push the ball down in transition and to hit those perimeter shots. So that's going to be a challenge for the Anderson defense, or the Milford defense, excuse me, to keep up with them and make sure nobody's getting a clean look at the basket. Conversely, Milford on the other end, offensively, not getting anybody clean inside the arc at all, and really most of their perimeter shots are being challenged. So we'll see. It's going to have to be a bit of a strategy overhaul. That pass is going to be deflected out of bounds. Yeah, just like that, Anderson doing a great job of deflecting those passing lanes.
Yeah, when we're not seeing a lot of ball fakes, Glenn, like they're really telegraphing their passes. If they can ball fake up or down and just not be so obvious on where they're going to throw the ball, I think that'll help Milford out tremendously.
Yeah, ball is inbounded to Theroff. She's in all kinds of trouble. Deep 3 off the front of the iron for Tatum. Anderson will slow it up in transition and get into an offensive set here. Just said they were pushing it down in transition. They decided to pull up and go into something set. Never fails. We're under a minute now to go here in the opening quarter at Milford High School. Anderson out to a commanding 10-3 lead and looking to add to it. And there's an open player on the right side. 3 is off the mark. Rebounded underneath by the Eagles. Coach Fallis wanting to push the tempo, trying to feed it inside. It's saved, but that's going to be off the fingers of Theroff. Yet another Eagles turnover. Substitutions. Olivia Theroff checks in along with Devin Morris. Take the place of Geis and the elder Theroff Abbey.
The one thing Coach Fallis is looking for is a rim runner, so someone who's automatically running towards the rim so you can run that transition offense. But we've not seen that a lot from Milford so far, so I can see why Coach Fallis is very frustrated. He's yelled rim runner every time, and there's been no one who's gone back to the offensive end.
Approaching 20 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Elizabeth Holman content to dribble some time away here, and Anderson, under the direction of Coach Phil Sheldon, will play for the last timeout. Devin Morris, with the body contact, is going to be whistled for that foul. It was all chest, no arms, but it'll go down as a foul nonetheless. So Anderson ball just here in front of our broadcast position. There you saw a shot of Phil Sheldon. That ball's deflected away by Morris. Morris is going to drive down the lane, all kinds of contact. She can't get a call. It's deflected out of bounds with just under 5 seconds to go.
Watch for something here for Hills or Tatum, because they're the best three-point shooters, and see if Milford can cut this deficit real quick.
Yeah, boy, no, you kind of surprised. You get that foul on Morris on one end, and she can't get it on the other end. Last shot goes up, and it's off the mark. At the end of the first quarter, your score is Anderson 10, Milford 3. We're going to step away for a break. You're watching girls varsity basketball on ICRC-TV Sports.
How do I take the 2020 census? In March 2020, every address in the country will receive an invitation to complete a simple questionnaire. And there are 3 ways to respond. Number 1, do it online. Number 2, call by phone. Number 3, send it by mail. For those who don't respond, a census taker from your community will follow up and assist you. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Milford's got 4, Anderson doesn't have any offensive rebounds.
Welcome back to girls varsity basketball on ICRC-TV Sports. The Anderson Redskins facing off against the Milford Eagles. We have the halftime stats, and no major surprise. The turnover battle we wanted to keep an eye on. Milford has 5. Anderson has 3. David, what stood out to you on the stat sheet?
I think the offensive rebounds and rebounds in general. Milford's winning the rebound battle by 2, but Milford has 4 offensive rebounds and 5 defensive. Anderson has 7 defensive rebounds, so not really attacking the offensive glass, but being a force on the defensive glass, Glenn.
Milford continues to struggle from the field, just 1 of 12 in the opening quarter, an 8.3 shooting percentage, 1 of 2 on the free throws. Milford, of course, has missed all 5 of their 3-point attempts, so an offensive drought here in the opening quarter, to say the very least, for the homestanding Eagles. 20 seconds in, that ball's deflected away. A nice save by the Redskins. Pushing through traffic there again. Anderson playing a little physical against Milford. Turnaround in the lane, won't go. Rebounded underneath Theroff. Long pass down. 3-pointer on the way. High arcing shot, misses the rim. Rebound underneath. Dish back out to Morris. Up top, nope, pulling up. They'll hand it back off to Tatum. Tatum standing between the O and the R of the Milford. Will reset the offense. Drive into the lane again, all kinds of contact. Deep 3-pointer on the way, off the mark for Hills, and a whistle. Boy, again, not to belabor the point, but it's very physical down there. The whistles aren't going the Eagles' way after Morris was whistled on that contact back at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, and usually when a coach is very frustrated with an official, that's when he'll stop getting calls. But Coach Fallis hasn't said anything that I've seen to the officials to make them not want to call that. So like you said, Glenn, just very inconsistent whistles. We'll see if that changes.
Deep 3-pointer is off the back iron, and Katie Tatum wisely lets it dribble or roll out of bounds, bounce out of bounds, probably a better way to put it. Eagles ball. Come down and reset the offense at 6:30 to go in the second quarter. Morris dishes it off. Quick ball movement by the Eagles. 3-pointer on the way. Will not go for Hills. Anderson comes up with the ball after the failed 3-point attempt. Dribbling it off her own foot. That's a turnover. It's recovered by Tatum. Tatum to Theroff. Thieroff back to Tatum up top. Over to the right side to Morris. Morris looking for somewhere to go with the ball. Lots of Eagles moving. This Anderson defense tenacious, to say the least, so far in this game. Thieroff up top. Morris tells Thieroff to look to the left side. Morris nearly lost control of that one, but able to save it with their fingertips. Trying to get a look for Madeline Hills for a three, and it's just not materializing. Tatum drives in the lane. Contact underneath and a whistle. 5:27 to go in the opening half. Take a look at the foul on replay.
So Tatum just goes through some contact and nothing on the cylinder, and then just Olivia Thieroff reaching in for the ball, gets called for a reach.
As I said, 5:27 remaining in the second quarter. Substitution for the Redskins during the dead ball. Anderson will inbound. A little slower pace for the Redskins this time down the court. Now they'll pick it up, drive into the lane, dish off to the right side, back up top. Nice behind the back dribble. The Eagles trying to force a turnover, and there it is. They get it. Katie Tatum comes up with it, dribbled off her foot. Now we're going to get contact. That should be number 2 on Tatum. You'll see it on replay here. Couple substitutions for the Eagles. Caitlin Geis and Abby Thieroff back into the game. Here you're going to see the turnover. Tatum tracks that ball down, comes down, it's deflected away, and then the contact from behind onto the calf of Kate Dorco. Now the Eagles are going to go into a full court pressure look. High passes by the Redskins to try to beat it. Traveling in the corner. Called on Elizabeth Holman. Looks like Anderson had a pretty good idea how to break that Milford press, but just a little momentum problem in the corner.
Yeah, there was even someone open under the hoop and just didn't see the open pass. But one thing I really noticed, Glenn, both teams aren't working towards the post. They're playing a 5-out offense. So they're really trying to work the perimeter game instead of trying to get something down in the post. I mean, there's not a size disadvantage or anything, so we'll see if that changes throughout the game.
Kayla McKinney in the post for the Eagles, though, engaged in a physical battle with Katie Doyle. Pull up and falls through for 2 points for Madeline Hills. Her first points of the game. It's 10-5 with 4:11 remaining in the second quarter. Wide open look for Anderson. A little bit too hard off the back. No good. They rebound underneath and maintain possession. Milford in a 2-3. Now Anderson will slow it down and try to find a mismatch or set a screen to open someone up, and there they go. They're going to try to screen McKinney, but they elect to continue passing the ball around the perimeter. Drive in. Nice shot by Sarah Sweeney. Able to sidestep her defender and let it roll off her fingers. See if Milford comes up with a different situation here on offense. But boy, Kate Dorco with aggressive defense on the Milford ball handler. Milford's going to have to come up with something to try to get someone open here. It goes without saying. Deep three, no good. Tracked down by Anderson. Everything just falling Anderson's way thus far. Redskins come into this game with a 4-6 conference record, 8-9 overall, and there's another basket. Coach Vallis is going to take timeout number 3. So Doyle adds to her total with a field goal. Okay, let's go back and take a look on replay. Last couple of sequences here.
Just not a whole lot working for the Eagles. Madeline Hills finally hits one. And then you're going to see Anderson just doing a great job passing the ball, getting some movement down the inside, and a nice floater for the Redskins.
Coach Phil Sheldon, overseeing his team in the huddle on their bench, has to be pleased with what he's seen so far. The Milford Eagle pep band out in attendance today, trying to get the home faithful fired up here as their team's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Glenn, I think I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem like the Milford team's in it. Like their mind's somewhere else. I don't know what it is, but hopefully Coach Fowles can make some adjustments here with the last 2:54 remaining here in the first half, and then what the adjustments he's got to make during halftime.
Yeah, so what I think we're going to need to see Milford do is try to match the defensive intensity of Anderson, and then conversely continue to find ways to get open offensively any other end. And they're going to have to go physical for physical down in the post. Now, who's going to handle that? Whether it's McKinney or Theroff, Abby Theroff, we'll find out. But someone's going to have to establish that presence down underneath, as you pointed out earlier. Geis nearly lost control. Anderson didn't come after it. Tatum with the ball up top. She pulls up for a three. Nails it. Nothing but nylon. Her first points of the game. The deficit's down to 6. 2:30 remaining in the second quarter.
And honestly, Glenn, the lead feels bigger than it is. It's only 6 points, like you just said. But it just feels like all energy and just anything that Milford's got working has just been drained out of them so far.
So turnover underneath on a pass for the Redskins underneath, deflected away by the Eagles. The Eagles will slow things down. We're approaching 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Geis gets the feed, tries to get it to Theroff underneath, and a whistle. A couple substitutions for both teams on the way.
It's a great job by Katie Tatum running the offense here with a fake screen by Geis. And then there's the Tatum three, nothing but nylon.
Katie Doyle whistled for the last Redskins foul, by the way, finishing up a replay sequence and back into live action here. There they go, try to feed underneath. Shot won't go for Dusing. Been saying that a lot, unfortunately, for the Eagles. Shots just are not going, and that's a testament to this Redskins defense that's forcing the Eagles into less than desirable shots, shall we say. At 1:30 to go, and a travel call on Anderson. So most of the mistakes we've seen by the Redskins so far have been traveling.
Yeah.
They do have 4 team fouls. The Eagles have 4 as well. So pretty even in that regard now after some questionable non-calls earlier on the offensive ends.
I think they're going to look to get Dusing the ball.
Gotta free up somebody to make a pass into her, though, and right now that's been the problem. Tatum controls things up top, passes it to Geis. Dusing flashes into the lane. Geis gets about to the free throw line before handing it off to Hills. Hills pass and a three-pointer by Mia O'Toole's off the mark. A struggle for control on the floor.
Looks like we're going to get a foul on Mia O'Toole, Glenn. Be her first.
Maya O'Toole, sorry for the pronunciation error. Kenzie Burdick checks into the game for Anderson. 52 seconds remaining when the ball was inbounded. Here in quarter number 2. Geis fights through the screen, keeps the pressure up on Holman before Holman's able to pass it off. Dusing doing a nice job of denying down in the paint. Being matched up against Burdick, who had just checked back in. That looks to be where the Redskins want to go, to Burdick. Baseline drive and a pass off, but they're going to call Holman for stepping on the end line. Milford has the ball back. Exactly 25 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They trail by 6. Tatum brings it down. Quick three-pointer put up by Maya O'Toole. No good. Anderson with the ball. Moving down, pass underneath to Burdick, who is fouled in the act of shooting. The clock will stop with 7.3 seconds remaining. Maya O'Toole's going to pick up foul number 2 here. You'll see on your replay. First free throws off the mark. Second shot on the way. Get a good look at Mackenzie Burdick there at the free throw line. It rolls out as well. So a good foul for the Eagles and O'Toole, and the fact that Anderson wasn't able to score. Ball is deflected out of bounds. It will go back to the Redskins. 1.6 seconds remaining in the first half of this one. Eagles will go man-to-man. Coach Fowles calls out no foul. Now they'll back off a little bit. Let Anderson inbound it, just prevent a shot. There's a desperation heave at the buzzer, and that goes through. Wow. Well, you see that a lot. That's a 1 in 100 shot of going in. Take a look at that before we go to break. But Elizabeth Holman took the inbound pass, puts up a desperation shot right in front of our broadcast position at midcourt. And watch this one. No rattle at all. Nothing but net. Truly amazing. See if that makes the intro reel moving forward. So we will take a break here at halftime. It's Anderson 17, Milford 8. We'll be back with the second half and to recap the first half statistics. You're watching girls varsity basketball on ICRC-TV Sports.
Hi, I'm Nick Foligno of the Columbus Blue Jackets. From the youth leagues all the way up to the NHL, sportsmanship is one thing that we can all have in common. The thrill of competing is great, but how we compete is important. Sports can teach kids so many more lessons than just winning and losing, and we can all make this experience a positive one that builds character and makes memories that last a lifetime. In the stands and on the ice, we can all do our part to make this a great event. Together, let's all respect the game.
This message brought to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
How do I take the 2020 census? In March 2020, every address in the country will receive an invitation to complete a simple questionnaire. And there are 3 ways to respond. Number 1, do it online. Number 2, call by phone. Number 3, send it by mail. For those who don't respond, a census taker from your community will follow up and assist you. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerp.
Anderson inbound it, just
Did
prevent a
Pete
shot.
saying
There's a
mean
desperation
things
heave.
bother ya?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
And restore pride. We are people working cooperatively. Our typical client earns less than $14,000 annually and cannot afford the critical repairs they need to safely live at home, where they desperately want to be. Our services truly change lives, one repair at a time. Our professionally trained staff, along with 25,000 volunteer hours annually, has provided more than 280,000 services for low-income, elderly, and disabled homeowners in our communities. Every service makes an impact. Homes we service have an increased sales price of 10%, and even the value of surrounding homes increase upwards of 3%. Our energy conservation services save clients an average of $300 a year. These total savings from all customers equals over $200,000 in outstanding energy bills paid. With safer living environments, almost 50% of our clients reported improved health, and many are seeking medical attention less frequently. By living healthy at home, over $54,000 in state and federal funds can be saved annually for each client that does not need to move to assisted living. PwC's impact is more than just dollars and cents. Stable homes create stable families, which means children who are moving less frequently can achieve higher academic success. We are an investment in the future. More people living safely in their own home paints a brighter future for everyone, but we can't do it alone. We need your help to continue to build a brighter future for the entire community. Give back and get involved at pwchomorepairs.org.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for them. You don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
Let Anderson inbound it, just prevent us.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If I play sports for my school, I'll learn how to be part of a team.
I will have more friends. I will be active now and when I'm a grown-up.
I will learn how to work hard. I'll have better attendance.
I'll learn how to overcome adversity. I'll be more likely to go to college. I will learn how to get along with others. If I play sports for my school. If I play sports for my school. If I play sports for my school.
I must learn to be a good student during school if I want to put on my uniform after school.
How will 2020 census data be used? Where there are more people, there are more needs for public services. That's why the census is used by the government to inform funding decisions each year. But that's not all. It's also used by nonprofits to inform services, by businesses to create jobs, and even by students for school projects. Understanding how the population changes helps us shape communities across the country for the better. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Hi, I'm Clark Kellogg. I've attended basketball games from coast to coast over the years as a participant, broadcaster, parent, and fan. And believe me, I've seen my share of unsporting behavior. The purpose of school sports is for kids to have fun, develop their skills, and learn lessons that will last a lifetime. So when you attend a school contest, please keep that in mind. Remember to behave in a way that reflects positively on your child, your school, and your community. Let's respect the game.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Get it. Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it. Get it. Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
Welcome back for the second half, and here's how things ended with the first half. Elizabeth Holman hits a half-court three, nothing but nylon, 17-8. David, run us through the halftime statistics quickly.
Anderson has 15 rebounds, Milford has 13, Anderson has 8 turnovers, Milford has 6. Obviously, the big thing that stood out to us was Milford was 3 of 22 from the field. So just a lot of shooting woes there in the first half. We'll see if Coach Fowles has the ladies really focusing on their shot for the second half, Glenn.
Specifically, what do you think Milford's going to change here in the second half after the intermission?
I think they have to be very aggressive on defense, as we're just going to see a lob. They're just going to have to tighten the pressure, but then take better shots and really be the aggressor on offense. Look in, have your post players be the strong person and make a move, go through contact, and draw the foul and get the old-fashioned three-point play, Glenn.
Three ball comes up, will not go. Abby Thieroff, Milford hangs on to it. Thieroff actually came up with it. Now the ball movement will begin around the perimeter. Drive in, and a sky hook won't go for Olivia Thieroff. Redskins come up with the ball, 19-8. Long pass by Anderson. It's going to be deflected away, tracked down by Kaylee McKinney, then deflected out of bounds. It will stay with Milford. Take a look at our last bucket here on replay. Nice ball movement, feed inside. Mackenzie Burdick gets her 4th point of the game.
It was a great slip, Glenn. She was feeling the contact and realized they could get the lob over to her, so great job by the Redskins offense.
Pull-up jumper just inside the arc, will not go for McKinney. Rebounded by Anderson. Holman nearly lost control, but tracked it down. Now whistled down at the other end, out of bounds. Pretty sloppy start. Nope, a foul, I'm sorry.
It's going to be on Burdick.
So Anderson gets in the foul category first with Mackenzie Burdick. Her first of the game, the team's first of the half. 6:15 remaining in the third quarter. Nice give from Morris to Thieroff, but she's blocked. She's tracked down by McKinney and deflected out of bounds. Take a look at that last sequence here on replay. There you see the block. Olivia Thieroff was trying to get the three up, and defender got the fingers on the ball. Milford ball underneath their own basket in the corner. They were trying to force it into Morris, but stolen away by Anderson. Somehow they fight through that pressure, and it's all Anderson, and we're going to get a foul at the other end on Olivia Thieroff.
Great job by Anderson breaking the press, Glenn. Obviously, just Milford not passing the ball great, but Anderson taking every advantage of it that they can. Got the ball down in 2 or 3 passes, and then now we're at the line for Caldwell shooting 2.
First shot falls through. Mass substitutions for the Eagles. Hillis, Dusing checked in. One other, was it Tatum, I think, came in on that. Second free throw on the way. Caldwell nails both of them. 21-8, Anderson. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Dribbling the ball around up top is Milford. Anderson defense. trying to trap whoever comes up with the ball. That one's going to be deflected out of bounds. What's Milford going to have to do to fight through those traps?
You got to be aggressive, and if you get a foul going through it, so be it. But I mean, you got to get through them, Glenn. You got to pass the ball. You got to ball fake and then step through it as best as you can, because
three-pointer, high arcing shot. Madeline Hillis finds the mark. 5 points in the game for her. She gets the Eagles back to within 10 at 5:30 to go in the third quarter. And traveling call on Anderson. Seen a few of those on the Redskins tonight. Let's go back and take a couple of different looks at the three-pointer.
A great job by Tatum to get it over to Hills. Hills hits it, nothing but nylon. You're going to see Kaylee McKinney just very patient with trying to get the ball in, and then Tatum not forcing anything, and they just left Madeline Hills unguarded, which wasn't a great move. So deficit down to 10.
Nice work on that three by our camera operator, Kyle, underneath the Eagles basket for this half. We have a tie-up on the floor. We'll go in favor of the Redskins with alternating possession. 21-11, 5:16 to go in the third quarter. Each team with one foul so far here in the second half. Eagles going into that press look again. Anderson breaks it easily. Wide open underneath the basket for Anderson. Coach Fallis, is going to take his fourth timeout.
Glenn, actually, I think that might have been Anderson. I think.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yep, Anderson will take a 30-second. Thanks for the correction on that. Just assumed Coach Fallis wasn't going to be happy after that sequence when Anderson broke through the press pretty easily.
With three passes, Glenn. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it doesn't look like Coach Sheldon's very happy, but I mean, if you break a press in three passes, I wouldn't be complaining. They get the ball to midcourt, they get it to about the three-point line, and then wide open under the hoop, Glenn. So great job by the Lady Redskins to break the press, and Milford was running a 2-2-1. If I was Milford, I'd maybe would have sank back into a 2-3 or a 3-2, something a little bit harder to break. Where a 2-2-1, there's a lot of gaps, and you're relying a lot on your safety back there playing the one.
We'll see what adjustments Coach Phil Sheldon makes during that brief timeout. That timeout coming just a little under 3 minutes having expired here in the third quarter. 23-11 Anderson. We are under 5 minutes to go now. Milford finally gets somebody wide open as Madeline Hills was trying to hit a three, going to get a foul coming up on Elizabeth Homan. That is her second, the team's second. So Madeline Hillis will get 3 opportunities at the charity stripe, David.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you got to take advantage of these, Glenn. I mean, take every advantage you can while at the free throw line.
Hillis gets the first one. She gets 10 seconds. She's going to take advantage of it. A couple of hard dribbles. That one off the front of the rim, no good. Abby Theroff is going to check into the game for Katie Tatum. Tatum's had a quiet game offensively, just the 1 3-pointer to her name at this point, but then again, the Eagles pretty much quiet offensively the whole game. Third free throw finds the mark.
With Tatum going out, Glenn, both usual point guards, Morris and Tatum, not in the game, so it looks like Caitlin Geis or Hills will be running the point.
Sarah Sweeney gets her 5th point of the game with a long 3, and right now, Anderson is just having their way with the Eagles press. I mean, they're fighting through it. They have players open on the other end, and it's a free look at the basket. 3-pointer won't go for Hills. They're going to try to get it back to her. She'll fire up another one. That one finds the mark. 10 points in the game, 10 of 16. Milford 16, David. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just, great rebounding by Kaylee McKinney, and then obviously your shooters are going to shoot. As Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so keep firing them up. She's bound to start hitting some eventually.
Olivia Theroff is going to check into the game for Carly Dusing. So look at the last sequence, and there you see wide open for Sarah Sweeney. So Eagles are going to have to correct something on that press, prevent that from happening. Olivia Theroff just checked back in, nearly lost the handle. She tracks it down. Almost a wide open three. Hills chose to pass it. They'll reset. Theroff with the bounce pass over to Caitlin Geis. It's off her fingers and out of bounds. Now Devin Morris checks back in. 26-16, a 10-point lead, 3:40 to go in the third quarter. Milford's making an adjustment now. It's just Geis up top. Milford falling back into a half-court defense, but again, a wide open Redskin, but a whistle before the shot. Kinsey Burdick gets her second foul. Team's third, so a wasted offensive opportunity for the Redskins with the foul. Morris brings it down. Jump stop. She had a toe on the line, and the referee saw it. Had 1 foot, the toes on the line. Cuts the deficit down to 8. 26-16. We're approaching 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Desperation shot in traffic won't go. It's hauled in by Olivia Theroff. Morris will bring it down. Long pass to Geis. Geis just inside the arc. Nails it. Geis's first points of the game, David.
Yeah, and we've seen her take that shot, Glenn, and missed it before, but about a step or two inside the three-point line seems to be her ideal shooting spot. And Milford has really picked up the intensity here on offense and defense, cutting it to a 6-point lead.
Abby Theroff with the steal, but the Eagles promptly turn it back over. Here comes Anderson. Both teams able to settle back. Lots of contact between Theroff on the shooter. Katie Doyle, no whistle though. Now the Eagles back down, baseline drive. Geis is in trouble underneath with that trap. And she's able to get it off of an Anderson defender. Milford will maintain possession. Here you see Morris. That was where toes were on the line. Beautiful shot. And then there's Geis just inside the arc. Couple substitutions. Katie Tatum back in. There you see Olivia Theroff. Inbounds the ball to Tatum, who had just come back in, and they were trying to feed it to Geis out of bounds, but the ball will stay with the Eagles. Olivia Theroff will inbound. 2:10 remaining in the third quarter. Inbounded easily to Morris. Eagles offense resets. Lots of movement on the floor by the Eagles offense. Geis to Theroff. Theroff, baseline drive, trying to push through it. And dribbled out of bounds. Coach Fallis not happy. Madeline Hills is going to check into the game. Carly Dusing is going to come in as well. Abby Theroff goes to the bench, as well as Caitlin Geis. Olivia Theroff out as well. We are under 2 minutes to go now. As you can see, 145, three-pointer. Will not go. Rebounded by the Redskins. Trying to feed that ball inside, turnaround, won't go. Madeline Hillis rushed in to try to rebound, but it's deflected out of bounds. Blast off of a Redskins defender.
And I mean, like we talked about, Milford's really picked up the intensity, and I think they're crashing the defensive glass a little bit harder. And as I mentioned, I think they got stronger. They don't mind going through pressure or anything. And Katie Tatum untouched there to the rim.
They've needed her to get hot. She found a lane. Anderson's going to try to answer with a three. It's off the mark, and a holding call underneath. Is that going to be on Dusing?
You see Tatum just splits the double team. Great job.
That's what you've been talking about all night, having to drive through that pressure, right? Drive through the defense. There's head coach Dave Fallis in his second year at the helm of the Lady Eagles basketball program here at Milford High School. Deflected out of bounds underneath by Kaylee McKinney. Geis is going to check back in for the Eagles. Clock is stopped at 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Redskins ball underneath their own basket. Wide open in the middle.
Missed it.
Burdick, and the shot won't go. I'm going to say it was last off of Burdick. Milford ball.
Those are bunnies, Glenn. You should be making those inside of 5 feet. So great job by the Lady Eagles to recover and at least get a hand in her face. So the shot was somewhat uncontested.
Coming out of the half, Anderson was shooting 50% in the third quarter, so they're at about 47% for the game, but it'll be interesting to see the stats from Sean Sell at the third quarter here, because Anderson's shooting seems to have gone pretty cold here over the last several minutes, and all of a sudden the Eagles have chipped away. This lead is down to 6 points, 28-22, just under 52 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
And one of the things that coaches preach is, you know, you can't get everything back in one possession, Glenn. So Milford doing a great job just chipping away at it, like you said. And I think our scorecard might even be wrong. I think it's only a 4-point game. I think it might be 26-22. So even better, a 2-possession game. That's going to be a technical.
Explain that one.
So just after there was already a dead ball after the play, and then we see some elbowing from number 10 for the Lady Redskins, number 10, Katie Doyle. And just not very happy, and I think we're going to technical on the push. Just watch here. I mean, we're not going to see it, but just a technical, so we'll be Milford ball. They'll get 2 free throws.
So Devin Morris will pick up her second personal foul. Mackenzie Burdick will pick up foul number 3. We'll get another look at it here as the referees huddle up. Ball will stay with the Eagles. And there you saw the contact underneath on Morris.
So it looks like we went with an intent or no technical, just a common foul. So no technical shots, but it looked like Milford will get the ball.
Under 30 seconds to go now in the third quarter. Hill is trying to dribble through some trouble. She tried to pass it over to Tatum. It was a little bit too high off of her fingers and out of bounds. Redskins ball in front of the Eagles bench. Under 20 seconds to go now. Geis closely guarding the Redskins ball handler, who crosses the timeline easily. They're going to try to dribble out some clock here. The Eagles trying to force something over in the corner. The Redskins will get off a last-second shot, though, but that's a rainbow for Elizabeth Homan. So, David, you were right. At the end of the third quarter, it's Milford 22, Anderson 26, just a 2-possession game for Milford.
And they've done a great job of chipping away at it. Coach Fallis, obviously we've seen him be very animated with his girls. He's done a great job of just getting them to remember that, you can't get it all back at once. Just slowly chip away at it, get stops on defense, and then come down on offense and take advantage of it. Coach Cameron, the boys coach, used to do a thing called daggers. You got a stop, you got a basket, and then you made 2 free throws. If you do that, it's called a dagger. And I think the Lady Eagles have had multiple daggers.
Sean Sell just handed us our statistics in the third quarter. Anderson just 3 of 11 from the field, 1 of 6 from behind the arc. So field goal percentage, that's 27%, brings the Redskins down under 40. Milford, however, their best performance thus far, 5 of 11. They're now 8 of 33 in the game, shooting just over 24%. There you take a look at our cable TV replay schedule for our Cincinnati Bell Phioptics and Spectrum subscribers. As a reminder, you can catch this game as well as all the other content that ICRC-TV produces on a weekly basis. Find it at our website, ICRC-TV.com, ICRC-TV.com. 8 minutes left in regulation. David, what are you expecting here?
I think the Eagles are going to keep up the intensity. They're not going to let Anderson have anything that they want, whether it's 3-point shots or whatever. Milford's going to play very aggressive. They've got 4 fouls to give until Anderson will be in the bonus, so they just can't let anything like that happen.
Well, there's one less now. So whistle down on the Anderson offensive end. And they're going to get Madeline Hills. That's her first, the team's 4th. We're all even at 4 apiece now. Katie Doyle will make her first trip to the free throw line of the game. She's had a couple of three-pointers and a field goal so far. Now the free throw bounces around and won't roll through. There's Coach Phil Sheldon overseeing his charges from the sideline. Phil, the former varsity coach, golf coach here at Milford High School.
Spent some time in Milford Elementary as an aide in the school, so very familiar with the school, like with the school district. Also, his niece Ashley Sheldon used to be on Coach McKinney's team back in like the 2014 through 2017 era. So Coach Sheldon very familiar with this gym and with Milford in general.
Good passing decisions and ball movement by the Eagles on this offensive possession. We're at 7:30 now in the fourth quarter. Morris gives it back, deep three-pointer, rattles around, off the side of the rim, won't go, rebounded by the Redskins. Coast to coast, desperation heave, and a foul. Looks like Holman will be going to the free throw line. Kaylee McKinney, you're going to see right there, is going to be the guilty party, picking up her first foul of the game. Now Milford out in front, 5 team fouls to 4. Holman gets a pair of free throws. She nails the first one. Abby Theroff, senior, checks in for Devin Morris for Milford. Clock stopped at 7:18 in the fourth quarter. Second free throw on the way for Holman. High arcing shot falls through. 7-point lead for Anderson. Tatum's going to hold up top. Now they'll get the offense in motion. Down to Geis, to Theroff. Looking inside to McKinney. She'll kick it back out. Wide open three for Hills is off the mark, off the back iron. Struggle for control on the floor. The ball's tracked down by Elizabeth Holman. Boy, has she been a key player for Anderson tonight, it goes without saying. Long pass, good ball movement by the Redskins. Milford denying inside. The ball's loose on the floor, and we'll get a tie-up. And that will go to Milford on alternating possession.
It was a great job by the Lady Eagles. I mean, obviously missed a couple shots there, Glenn, but doing a great job of getting on the ball and getting possession back, and trying to make something out of this and make a strong push here at the end of the fourth quarter.
Milford has just found new life here in the second half. That one nearly deflected away, but Geis tracks it down. Geis is going to dribble down inside, now back outside the arc. She'll pass it back up top to Tatum. Tatum being closely guarded, nice spin move. Oh, might have got away with one there, but gets the kiss off the glass. The bank is open.
Absolutely, Glenn. And one thing I just noticed from the Milford bench, Coach Jeff Wall, who's the coach of the JVB girls team, is behind the bench, and he's very loud, and he's trying to get these girls pumped up. What you love to see, he's not on the bench, but he's still trying to be a coach and trying to help these girls to make something out of it, and it's only a 5-point game.
29-24 at 6 minutes now in the fourth quarter here at Milford High School. ICRC-TV coverage of girls varsity basketball. An ECC matchup between a couple teams right in the middle of the pack in the ECC. Things are being led by Loveland and Walnut Hills, of course, followed closely by West Claremont. Shot from the left side for Geis will not go. Anderson comes up with the ball. They'll get down into their offensive half court quickly, and a quick three-pointer will not go. Rebounded by Anderson. Good move underneath, and a kiss off the glass. Timeout on the floor.
Looks like it's going to be from Coach Sheldon. It's going to be a full timeout, and I think Coach Fallis will take it. If Coach Sheldon's going to call a timeout, now he can settle his girls down and see what they're doing. Again, it's not detrimental. They're able to come back from this.
Good look at Tatum there, and then the shot that goes up falls through. Now down at the other end, the three-pointer near the corner, off the mark. Struggle for control. Now watch this move. A righty from the left side. You see Coach Fallis in the timeout. Not quite as red as we're used to seeing Joe Cameron in the timeouts, but we can work on that. There's plenty of time.
Oh, I think it might have been a little bit more red in the first half.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Hey, we're trying to reduce the stress. I mean, we don't want them to match the padding on the walls. And the new paint job, courtesy of Aaron Zupka, he's done a great job in his first year at the athletic department, kind of modernizing the gym, moving the banners around and painting the pillars red. So it feels like a retro style feel, in my opinion, Glenn.
Yeah, it definitely gives the gym a little more character. We'll reset the situation. It is 31-24. Anderson out in front. 5:26 remaining. 5 team fouls for the Eagles, 4 for the Redskins. Coach Joe Cameron joins us here at our broadcast position. He must have heard us talking about it. Back to live action on the floor. Good movement back and forth between Thieroff and McKinney underneath. That one gets kicked away. That was an odd coincidence, huh?
Yeah, how about that?
Joe coming over, sneaking up on us from behind. Eagles ball underneath their basket. You get the ball back up top. Tatum down to Hillis. Hillis in a little bit of trouble. Feeds it inside. Shot will not go for McKinney. Rebounded by Anderson and a foul. Boy, it's getting very physical here late in the game. 5:01 remaining in regulation. Foul was called on Olivia Thieroff. That's number 3 on her. Olivia Thieroff, just a sophomore, getting a lot of minutes up here at the varsity level this year. A little bit of a transition year for Coach Fallis and the Eagles due to some transfers and graduation last year. Of course, we talked about in one of our previous broadcasts, Katie Tatum, just a freshman, getting significant minutes here at the varsity level. 31-24, Anderson trying to add to that lead. It gets out in front of Burdick a little bit. She passes the ball, goes around underneath. Burdick gets the rebound. That shot won't go. Saved underneath. Great job by McKinney. Here come the Eagles. Tatum's going to pull up over to Hillis. Now it's down into the corner to Geis. They'll reverse the sequence. Tatum's going to drive through the arc. Passes off to Thieroff. Thieroff cross court to Hillis. Three-pointer off the mark. Won't go. Foul underneath. They're going to get McKinney for her second.
And Milford's done a great job trying to get Hills the ball, but just things aren't falling. The threes are kind of deep. They're about 1.5 feet behind the three-point line. I mean, like I said earlier, Hill's going to shoot as, I mean, whether or not she's open, she's one of the most deadly shooters on this team, Glenn. So we'll see if she can start getting her momentum going as we're approaching about 4 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter.
So just as we talked about the fouls being somewhat even, Milford gets several in a row. Now 17 fouls, of course, puts the Anderson into the bonus situation. Kenzie Burdick will go to the free throw line and shoot 1 and 1. Coach Sheldon looks on. Burdick nails the first one. Second shot on the way, an 8-point lead. 4:03 remaining in regulation. Nailed both of them, make it 9. So Anderson, after a little bit of helter-skelter play earlier, extends their lead again. Let's see what Milford can do to chip back away at it this time. They reset the offense up top. Coach Fallis calls in a different play. Thieroff sets the screen for Tatum. Tatum dishes it off to Hillis. Back to Thieroff, inside to McKinney. McKinney on a turnaround, has nothing but black jerseys in front of her. That ball is tipped, last touch by Redskin. It will stay with Milford underneath their basket.
You know, Glenn, they don't have to shoot all threes. Milford just not finding out anything. If they can get the ball inside and go through contact, get a three-point play the old-fashioned way, but silly passes like that aren't going to help. Milford really, they're not going to start fouling yet. They'll probably wait for another minute and a half. So we'll see if they can just get a fundamentally sound defensive possession.
Timeout's going to be taken by Coach Sheldon of the Redskins. It's a 30-second timeout. 33-24 Anderson with 3:28 remaining in regulation.
And if I'm Coach Sheldon, just talking about holding the ball, not forcing anything silly, just trying to get easy layups if they're there, but don't take a dumb shot. If you're Coach Fallis, you really got to settle down on the pressure. If I were him, I'd break out of the 2-2-1 and maybe go to a man-to-man, just create a face guard, try to alleviate as many passes as you can, get up in their face and force bad passes, get some turnovers, and attack the hoop. But if you're Coach Sheldon, you know, keep passing because Milford's not defending the ball very well on those passes. That's why Anderson can break the press in 3 passes or less.
Well, we've got 3:28 to go here in regulation. It is up to a 9-point lead for the Redskins. Coach Sheldon uses a timeout to make sure his team is in position to grow that lead. The ball will be inbounded right in front of our broadcast position by Katie Doyle of Anderson. She'll be guarded closely by Abby Thieroff. Long high pass over the head of Geis. Successfully inbounded to Holman. Holman comes down. Good dribbling. Now it's probably going to be a little bit of keep away for the Redskins. Try to use ball movement to expire more and more of this clock to make it that much more difficult for Milford to climb back in. Now approaching the 3-minute mark of regulation. They'll reset the offense. Again, lots of perimeter passing. We haven't seen much in the way of attempts at penetration by Anderson. Offensively, of course, no shot clock in the high school game, so they can do this all they want as long as they maintain possession. Thiroff comes out, not able to deflect it away. So a lot of passes that Milford just not able to get a finger on and deflect things away. It's Ashley Taylor with the close guarding. She wears jersey number 20 for the Eagles you just saw. The Redskins have dribbled away or passed away about a minute of regulation here, David.
Yeah, and Milford doesn't really have an answer, and I think Anderson's doing a great job of that. I mean, I think Coach Fallison is going to call their foul play here soon, and they're going to start fouling.
And there it is, right on cue. Abby Thiroff will pick up her first of the game. So just about a minute and 15 seconds, give or take, of good passing by the Redskins to eat away at this clock and make the situation that much more difficult for the Eagles, who now face a 9-point deficit with 2:15 remaining. Now Milford will burn a full timeout. So what are you doing if you're Coach Fallis in the huddle here? For not a lot of time and a pretty significant deficit to overcome.
I mean, you got to tell your girls it's 9 points. It's 3 possessions if you hit 3 big threes. But I'm assuming one of the coaches has a scouting report and who's got the worst free throw percentage, because when they get the ball, foul them, because they got 1-1. Coach Fowler just remain sound on defense. You know, try and force turnovers, trying to at least get a finger or something on the ball, at least get a deflection. You can't let them burn another minute and 15 off the clock again. And you can't be angry. I mean, they've worked their butt off here in the second half, Glenn. Cut the deficit down to 4. Just Anderson being a really good team, and if Coach Fowles don't force anything, like I said, and just keep allowing things to happen on the offensive end. If they can get a steal or a turnover here, go after a rebound hard. Put your best rebounders in there. Go get it with 2 hands and push the offense down and get a quick 2 or 3 points.
Sarah Sweeney will make her first trip to the free throw line in this game. Resetting again, 33-24. Anderson out in front, 2:15 remaining. Sweeney's free throw goes, so she'll get the bonus. Now 34-24. 18 fouls for Milford, just 4 for Anderson. So it's been a pivotal last couple of minutes here in the fourth quarter. That has gone all of Anderson's way. Eagles will now substitute with some physical presence underneath with Abby Thiroff and Carly Ducey checking into the game, trying to find somebody underneath to pass the ball to and fight through the defense, as well as show some physical presence on the floor. And there, Abby Thiroff's going to show it right away. She deflects that ball away and hops onto the floor and gets the tie up. For alternating possession, it goes to the Redskins, though. Here you're going to see it here on the replay. There you saw number 22, Abby Thiroff, deflect it away and then immediately get on the floor. Good hustle by both players in that situation. A little bit of moisture on the floor after the tie-up with the perspiration. 2:06 remaining. 35-24. Now an 11-point lead for the Redskins. Milford showing full court pressure. Anderson able to break through it. Eagles trying to guard closely, but getting caught in some mismatches and screens. Good spinning ball movement, trying to reach in and force the situation. There's Katie Tatum and a whistle. Officials timeout, no foul or other violation forthcoming at this point. We'll see what we can get cleared up over here at the scorers table. You see Elizabeth Holman holding the ball for the Redskins. The Redskins ball right in front of the scorers table.
Might have been a whoopsie whistle, Glenn. The refs usually keep it in their mouth. Might have just got a little excited and blew it on accident.
Good job of forcing a turnover there by the Eagles. Thiroff comes down, forces the issue and draws the foul.
It's a great job by Abby Theroff getting a steal and then going left hand all the way to the hoop, as we're going to see on replay. It's a great job. Just steals it away, then takes it and goes through contact, Glenn. I've been saying that the whole game. Got to go through contact. It would have been great if she was able to make it for the and one, but we'll see if she can get 2 free ones here.
Her first trip to the free throw line in this game. Successfully converts the front end. The deficit is down to 10 with 1:37 remaining. The foul was called on Ellie Caldwell. That's her second of the game. Theroff converts both of them. Milford again with the full court press, being aggressive defensively. They trail by 9. We've got to force a turnover here. But Anderson just has been really good at breaking the full court pressure. Really the entirety of this game. Ball's loose on the ground. Caitlin Geis comes up with it. Katie Tatum's going to bring it down quickly. Pass over to the corner. They're going to feed it inside to Dusing. Dusing up and off the glass for 2. Her first basket of the game. The lead is down to 7. Elizabeth Holman breaks through the pressure. We're under a minute to go now and a whistle. 56.4 remaining in regulation. Kaylee McKinney picks up her third foul. It's the team's 9th. It's going to send Elizabeth Holman to the line. She's been there 2 other times previously. Converted, or 1 other time previously, converted both of them. She misses the front end of that one. It's off the back iron, rebounded by the Eagles, who now have 50 seconds in which to work. Passing up a 3, driving inside was McKinney. That shot won't go. The Redskins come up with it. We're going to get a foul by Carly Dusing on the other end.
Great job by Dusing there, Glenn. After the push, she picked up the Anderson girl. And I mean, so no bad blood or anything. Great sportsmanship. As we see in the intro from Milford, there's more at stake than just the game.
Anderson will be shooting 2 the rest of the way. Ellie Caldwell goes to the free throw line. She's 2 of 2, but now 2 of 3. Second shot on the way. 42.5 seconds remaining. 7-point deficit, 35-28. Caldwell gets the back end of it. The lead is back up to 8. Eagles down quickly, back and forth between Geis and Dusing. Now they'll go back out onto the perimeter. Boy, not a whole lot of time there, and Coach Fallis is going to call timeout.
And the one thing he said as soon as he called the timeout was take the open shot. I think the Lady Eagles passed up a couple open shots there, Glenn. I could see doing that early in the game, but when you're down late in the 4th quarter, you can't pass up. You got to start heaving them up at some point.
Yeah, your time is not on your side. The clock stops with 30.7 seconds remaining in regulation. Milford trails by 8. Coach Dave Fallis takes a 30-second timeout to try to get his team in position to chip away at this deficit. Milford will maintain possession of the ball. It will be inbounded to the top of your screen down in the Eagles' offensive half court coming out of the timeout.
And it looks like Milford is out of timeouts, and Coach Phil Sheldon and the Lady Redskins have 2 remaining if needed.
Well, the early offensive woes, Milford had to burn those early. She's been with us the whole way. Trying to force the ball inside, and it's out of bounds. It'll be a turnover. Anderson will have possession. 26.8 seconds remaining in regulation. Milford in full court pressure, of course. Situation looking somewhat dire for the Eagles at the moment. They need to force a turnover here. Anderson again able to break through that press. Now they'll pass the ball around, spin it around the perimeter.
Coach Fallis calling off the ladies fouling.
Yep, and that will do it as we are at 10 seconds now. There won't be any fouls by the Eagles, and looks like we will go final with a margin of 8. And there it is. Your final score, the Anderson Redskins 36, the Milford Eagles 28. Milford will fall to 5-6 in the ECC, 7-11 overall. Anderson will improve to 5-6 in the ECC, and 9-9 overall. The Redskins get back to 500 on the season.
And it was a very hard-fought game. We saw that the Lady Eagles tried to make something out of it in the second half. Just, I think everything was still going Anderson's way. Great job by both teams, and I think Anderson might be set for a good postseason run, Glenn.
So the early offensive woes, just too much to overcome for the Eagles. And unfortunately, they fall at home in their second regular season matchup with the Anderson Redskins. I have a package of highlights here provided by our production crew. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast. For our executive producer, Jason Dudley, our producer and director, Josh Simstrot, my partner, David Olson, I'm Glenn Olson. You've been watching ICRC-TV Sports.